I can't believe this is happening. This is our final episode of Heroes of the Vale. Today, I am joined with my friends, Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Halfpint, B. Dave Walters playing Freely, TJ Storm playing King Deapreth, Jen Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand, Lauren Urban is playing Orkira Eldritch, and Ad Bradford is playing Briv Stillmarrow. And I feel very privileged to have DM'd all of these people for so very long a time, spanning decades in 1 year. So, previously on Heroes of the Vale.
Start the music.
There was a lot of time travel. There was a lot of death. There was the burning of entire worlds and oceans of dead. There was flying through the air. Some of us had wings. Some of us didn't, but decided to fly anyways. And we all came together in the Intervale, and it ended up in a very, very different place. And now, by the actions of a newcomer, a goddess long thought dead has been brought back, named Saranthus, who believes that all must follow her and her light to save the universe. And she is now back, no matter how many people have to die to make the world safe. At the same time, a Lithid clone hybrid of Averyn is now attempting to kill the Heroes of the Vale, and that all of your interactions in the prime material plane with Averyn have been a lie this entire time. You have been interacting with a monster. And so, at this moment, you find yourself in a tunnel with crazy rambling drawings, trying to predict the future in a dirty cave mine-like structure as zombie versions of your old friend Averyn start crawling out of the ceiling and out of the floor and out of the walls. And then Saranthus is summoned. Penelope Halfpint comes back to life, and the entire cave collapses on all of you, and you are surrounded and buried in dirt. What do you do?
Dig out of the dirt.
Are we still in initiative?
No, you're in dirt.
Okay,
We're in
fair
dirt
enough.
order.
So we can't see anybody, or we
1
buried?
second. I need to roll Dirt's initiative. Dirt got a 2.
That makes sense.
I actually beat Dirt, I think. That's a
Just
That's a
want
first.
to be honest with everyone.
So are you saying it's about to cave in and we have a moment to react?
Oh, it's caved in.
Oh,
You're
it's
in
already
dirt.
done.
Yeah.
Can we see each other, or are we just buried?
You're buried. You hear screams, and some of you can feel limbs touch your limbs as zombie hands and zombie legs are also digging through the dirt, trying to find purchase on anything they can grab.
I try to call out, Penelope, Orkira, anybody?
You can hear him.
When this happened, we were all kind of in that tiny room, very, very close together, right?
Yes.
And the room before that was where Neverember had been pulled through the dirt up into the sky by something.
That's correct.
Do I remember how far up we have to go to get out?
About 6 feet.
Oh.
Great. I'm going to cast Turn Undead right now under the dirt. And because I'm assuming that all of my friends are still within 30 feet of me. And so each undead that can see or hear me, and so if they can hear me, the undead can hear me, must make a wisdom saving throw DC 15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That sounds like them coming there. I hear the banging.
I love my gigantic dice.
So anyone that fails is turned for a minute, and they have to spend their entire turn trying to get as far away from me as possible. They can't do anything else. If they're below a certain CR, they get destroyed, but something tells me Averyn, Illithid, is probably not. So yeah, I'm gonna call that out, and then hopefully my friends can hear me do that, and everybody can start to dig.
You now, for those of you felt limbs close to you, you feel them frantically shudder. You feel the cold, damp flesh of undead skin against your legs and your arms and even your face, and they all tremor and shriek, and you feel them frantically climbing out of the ground. And above is begun to rain and storm, and out of the rain and the mud and the grass, zombie arms and limbs are crawling out of the ground above, and you can start seeing light, some of you, because the zombies are actually creating tunnels as they dig frantically to get away from Orkira out into the surface.
Briv's going to just concentrate, really, really hard, and the bracer, the metal on his arm from the armor, he's going to try to see if he can just form it into like a crude, almost spade on the end of both of his hands, and he's going to use that to try to get out vertically as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Penelope.
Go ahead and make me an athletics roll. What are you doing, Penelope Halfpint?
Penelope knows that her friends are buried and she needs to get everyone out. So she calls upon nature and casts Guardian of Nature, and Penelope turns into a great tree, which hopefully will shoot out of the ground and create all the dirt to hopefully start to pull away and give roots for them to climb on to get out.
What does this look like?
You see just a great big trunk that grows into a beautiful, flourishing autumn tree with pink flowers. And it kind of sparkles with the power of nature.
Never
At the same
look a
time,
gift tree in the hole. I grab on and rise.
I have many branches for you to grab.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and roots as well. So roots and branches kind of spring out as well. If anyone wants to grab a branch, you can easily get out of the dirt at this point. Between the zombie tunnels that have been dug and the branches, you can squeeze your way out of the dirt.
Now, I see the creatures that are digging the tunnels, and it's no trick, but a good one, and I will cast Grease.
You cast grease, and several zombies just shoot like they're on a slide at a water park back down the tunnels as they are frantically trying to grasp as the entire dirt tunnel is covered in grease. And you see about 3 of these zombie versions of Averyn. If zombies can look surprised, they look surprised right now. And they're like a buttered up ham just going down a slide. Just pew, pew, pew. Screaming, retching screams as they fly past you.
Good. Maybe they'll stop trying to cause problems. Probably not. But
Really?
Is the tree as tall as the tower?
It's not super
No.
big, no.
Okay. Right.
It's kind of like I have just turned into a tree. A little bit, like I'm a tree person.
Got it. Okay. Now let's climb out.
When we get out of the dirt, Orkira will take a second and spit some dirt out of her mouth and be like, "I was talking to my god. Excuse me." And then she's gonna reach under her armor and pull off the bracelet that Averyn gave us a while ago and throw it into the mud and say, "Well, that was not fun."
I will also remove the bracelet, because bad news.
Everyone else removing their bracelets? I mean, Penelope Halfpint's probably snapped off. So.
Sure.
All right.
What
If I have to.
what do we see besides
Sorry, I was gonna say I never had a bracelet, but I'm gonna press the digitation, the dirt off of me, and be all of them be like, oh, let me get that for you. This you get, you're covered. It's just
That's what you're worried about right now?
I focus on what I can control.
Look, I have two thoughts. One, Waldred is Averyn, yes? Is there any sense in opening the bag?
I don't know if we have the time. I mean, if we want to, do we think we need to run? Do we think we can?
At this point, I don't think running's going to do
I
much.
have 2 cards that are blank, and we have demonstrated that these can capture the essence of creatures before. Perhaps we can capture the essence of this creature as long as we weaken it first. This zombified Averyn has been dealt quite a bit of blows. So perhaps we can trap him here in this card.
You can distract it, Briv, and I could use a mage hand to get it behind it and tap it.
Sure, let's save the world with a tap. I am in. Huzzah!
It wouldn't be the first time. I think we'll all be working on that distraction with you.
Should I perhaps spit on it first? And then Briv kind of just knowingly like winks as he says that.
I knew he was in there. I knew it. I knew sooner or later he would spit on something. Welcome back, Briv. I knew you were hiding this entire time.
I start to hand the card into Lady Alyndra's direction, hoping that she will pick it up with the mage hand.
Using the mage hand, I will pick up the cards.
All right, you do.
What do we see around us? Do we see Illithid Averyn? Do we see guy at the top of the tower?
Zombie Avryns. You don't see Illithid Averyn, but you do see the image of Saranthus floating above you, her eyes glowing Halloween orange as she just levitates above the heroes of the Vale. And as water strikes her skin and her clothes, they erupt into steam, and you can hear a sizzling sound all around her. Thank you so much, Freely, for letting me go. And it's so good to see all of you again. I hope you reconsider my offers before. You can join me and save everyone, or you cannot and lose everyone. If you want to be heroes, join me.
Or thou canst crawl back into the hole that thou hast come from.
Never.
And leave this world alone. And Briv steps forward, brandishing his great sword.
What's everyone
Freely.
else doing?
Excuse me. Thank you. I guess coin lady. Thank you for saving Penelope. A deal's a deal, right? You did your part, I did my part. But I mean, maybe now, like, it doesn't have to be all hostile because, like, I mean, you haven't done anything bad to me, and they haven't done mostly nothing bad to me. So hey, maybe we could just work this out where like everybody can get along. Yay!
How about we don't? And a wall of light surrounds not only the tower, but about 100 feet in all directions around you. Just shimmering, bright, almost blinding light.
I message Keen. Keen, use the rod now.
Why? Where? How? To leave?
That's what I messaged you. So
I get us out of here if I can.
It's been used to affect others before, too.
Best player interaction of all time.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see how this plays out.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah,
Briv just
everyone make a dexterity
continues while,
saving
while
throw.
this is going on. Briv
Things they don't know how to use.
is trying to just keep Saranthis's attention because he
Okay.
has faith that his allies are going to figure out a much better plan than taking her on directly. But he's acting like he's going to take her on directly.
Dex saving
As you
throws?
kind of like, I imagine you're just kind of like inching your way like in a circle while trying to talk to her. She is stoic and doesn't move, but her eyes are slowly following you as you walk.
Like going through her head to follow me.
No, not quite that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
that was going
not
to be
full
weird.
body horror.
Okay.
Listen, everyone,
No, the
I
full
do
body
gross
horror
things
is-
in this show often, but
The full body
I mean,
horror is
come on.
below us.
I'm gonna have a nightmare. I'm gonna use that now. Ugh.
How far above us is
It's
she?
just floating around the side of the head, all the way to the back, cutting a path. I can.
Oh yeah, cutting a path through the skull.
Yeah.
I think that's what
channel.
happened now. I think now that's what happened.
That seems
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think
canon
that's
now.
what's happening now. We are now she is floating
Beams of
60
light with
feet
Saranthes.
above you. There's lightning and rain, and it's just pouring, and it's getting the mud off of your armor, off your clothes. And
Do
you
I have
feel
any?
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Do I have any idea of another way that the rod is possibly able to be used beyond transportation?
you being attuned to it know that it can restore the Rod of Rastanon, which is from AD&D a long time ago, the second Ravenloft module. The thing that activates the apparatus for Stroud
Made by the artificer Strahd.
allows you, in this form, to restore anyone's previous form back to its original form. But
What was her
the crystal is
previous
severely
form?
cracked.
What was her previous form? A card?
Oh, can I
She was a
interject just
coin.
super quick?
Soul
Because
coin.
I think this is going to be really, really appropriate. So one of the things that Briv is actually trying to distract her with right now, and perhaps Keen overhears something. Briv is asking, yelling out, Saranthis, I have a question for thee. How didst thou come to be a divine? Basically, since Briv is wanting to ascend one day himself, he's trying to question her to figure out if she will spill how she accomplished it. And Briv is
Okay.
very persuasive.
You are getting some of her attention, but she is becoming suspicious. Roll a persuasion check or a deception check,
Okay.
whichever is stronger.
Yeah, no, I'm actually wanting to know, so I want to roll
May I
persuasion.
So really persuasion, not deception so much.
May I give him guidance on this?
You may.
Okay. I
All
would
right,
like to
so
give
that's
him
a
guidance.
D4.
D4.
Well, that would be a 24 then. It was going to be a dirty 20, but 24.
Right, so
It's a
I
good way to
guess
start this
this is
off.
an excellent time to tell you about my evil plan, but it was worship that allowed me to become a god.
What wert thou before?
I like to think that I was always a god. A
And that
dimple
starts.
shows up in the ground. At first, it
Oh.
appears like the cave below is starting to further collapse. But then you realize all of the ground is now shaking. And Saranthis says, I want you to see the damage that all of you the heroes of the Vale have done. And the ground just drops out from underneath you. And the
Misty
entire
step.
area fills with light. And you feel yourselves all falling and descending. Your ears pop, and the light is so blinding you can almost not see anything as this is happening. You feel the ground kind of fall beneath your feet at the same time.
I'm grabbing whoever is nearby and flying so that we don't hit the ground.
Okay.
I misty step directly behind her.
Okay, you do so.
And I smack her in the head with the rod while I activate its ability to turn her into what I thought she was last, which was a coin. But that's what's in my mind. Whatever she was before. Long, long before.
She was a snail. She was not. She was a snail who thought she was a god.
You smack her with the coin. I mean, with the rod, attempting to you strike her with the rod. At the same time, she grabs the rod in her hand, and her hand slowly, the divine light seems to be draining out of it, and you see what was once like just a glowing figure, a glowing fist and hand suddenly become fleshy and seems to be made of blood, and it continues to go down her arm, and she looks for the very first time terrified at what is slowly happening to her, and she concentrates, and the light returns to her hand and back to her fist, and she just laughs. Did you think your little magical item was going to work on me?
No, but I got you to look at me. Hit her, Briv! Hit her!
Briv, you have an advantage.
I am going to lay into her with steadfast, and that is a 19.
Is
Okay.
she in the air?
You're all falling, so she's within striking distance.
She's falling with us?
Yes, she is the center of the falling. She is basically teleporting
So I got
you
an
somewhere.
18 and a 19 on both those attacks that I'm trying to hit her
Just turned
with.
into an anime fight.
No, it's the
I
fight.
bounce back and forth off the walls.
Yeah.
Did they both hit, or any of them hit, rather?
They both hit.
Okay.
Dolphin the Balrog.
I'm going to go ahead and smite, too, because I might as well. So that's...
Okay, yeah. She is going to say to one of the rolls, your highest roll. Oh, Briv, I have foreseen this moment.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry,
You
you
get
ate one of
three.
them. That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
One
That's
of your
fine.
attacks is a 3.
So that's a 10 overall. Probably does not hit. So then on the one attack, then I am going to smite.
Okay.
And let's see. That will be... So still a total of 23 points of damage.
Okay, 23 points of damage. How does your divine smites look when they travel through your sword?
So as I am swinging steadfast, lion guard on the hilt of that, you see the lion's mouth kind of open up on the hilt of the sword, and it's almost like it breathes some kind of white fire for just a moment, sheathing the blade, and then it connects with her. And as it connects, I imagine, since she's made of this light, it just kind of refracts into several rays, at almost like a prism hitting her when it hits her.
Okay, she seems visibly hurt and very insulted. She is very perturbed that anyone using divine energy against someone who is divine is offensive
Thou
to
shouldst
her.
not turn thine back on me, Saranthus.
I need everyone to take. Everyone takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you all fall to the ground.
I'm flying.
It-
I'm grab someone.
You're
I
not.
flew.
You're the only one who doesn't. Everyone falls onto
I thought
a
she grabbed
mountainside
people.
in
Yeah,
the
I thought
snow.
How many people can you grab though?
1 or 2 halflings. But you're a tree, so I'd probably go for. I went for whoever was closest, which is
yeah.
Okay.
probably.
I can take the fall.
Yeah.
All right.
It
So you
probably
grab
would have been
freely?
Alyndra or Freely. I don't know who's
All right.
closer to me, but when we fell, I would have grabbed at least one of them.
Okay, you grab Alyndra.
Okay.
So it falls actually onto a cliff side, and at the same time, I need dexterity saving throws because you're at the cliff side of Verdeneth, near the town, and you all tumble and roll down the cliff, and it's slippery from like barnacles and everything else, and weird algae from being right next to the ocean. And at the same time, you see the tower has also been teleported with you and has begun to roll down the side of the cliff towards you.
Find a
Uh,
window.
17, and Briv, remember I gave you inspiration. I don't know if you used it, the Bardic Inspiration.
Got it.
Yeah,
Have
dexterity
not
saving
used it.
throws
I've got
from
10
everybody.
minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got 10 minutes. I have not used it yet, but if anyone happens to land within 10 feet of me, you can add 4 to your save.
What are we doing? It's a
You're making a
Dex-
dexterity
dex
saving
saving.
throw against the entire tower about to crush all of you.
holy crap. 20.
As it's like
22.
rolling towards us and we get up, I just look at Alyndra and I say, thank you for saving me from that disintegrate. I was about to be dead. I mean, I might be about to be dead again, but I would have been dead then, so thank you.
Listen,
No one's gonna
no
die.
big deal for talking coins.
Shoot, I cast erupting earth.
Is it 20?
I love that Freely is talking. Well, this giant tower is just.
I got a 21, so he's like, I just wanted to I might not have another chance to tell you
I'm
this.
right there with him, like,
Right.
now's the time. Oh, we're doing this
I-
anyway.
I may not have another chance to tell you.
Oh.
I appreciate it.
You see the tower being made out of magic is just crushing the stones as it's going along. Penelope Halfpint, you got a 20 on your roll.
22
Correct,
on
for
my
dexterity?
dexterity save. Yeah.
Okay,
22.
you immediately, as in your tree form, somehow jump over the tower for a second
Yes.
and let your roots grab onto the rocks again. Alyndra, you're being held aloft by Orkira. Keen, I need a dexterity saving throw. Briv, I need a dexterity saving
I
throw.
got a 23. Can I narrate?
You can go ahead and narrate what you do, yeah.
So I'm just going, like, as the tower is coming towards me, I am going to just kind of jut out with kind of spikes from my pores and just kind of climb the tower quickly and leap off the other side as it's coming.
Okay. You do so.
Spider-Man.
Spiky Man.
It feels like a good idea at the time when you're doing it. But then you realize that you're on the worst hamster wheel of all time. And so you're like, oh, I grabbed it. And you're like, ah. This is totally cool. This is totally cool. This is totally cool.
You got this.
Keen, what did you get for dexterity saving throw versus tower? I can't hear you.
Total of
Keen.
18 with Briv's help.
Total of 18 with Briv's help. Okay, how do you jump over the tower or away from the tower? What do you do?
I do not. I wait. I time it. I see what's happening. I back up 4 steps because, yes, that's right. The window. I stand in the window. It rolls over me and it passes me because I am Eladrin. That was close.
Which is like Aladdin.
Yeah.
All right, so
Eladrin
King
stands for
Deopreth
badass.
just sits there watching keenly at the window, waiting for it to roll. And then you just spurt. You just run right at the window. And then you are now rolling inside of the tower. And you see the blank-faced wizard still sitting at his stone desk attached, but just rolling around and around. He's like, "Hi,
Do
you're back."
something!
And there's the like beakers and vials all tumbling around, and also the deck of many things is also flying through the air, and you see the next window to get out, and you jump through at the same time. Actually, you're jumping out the exact same window at a different angle.
Is the deck 50-something cards separate, or is it in a box?
It's in a box.
Can I grab it as I am passing?
I want an amazing sleight of hand check. I mean, like, super amazing. Like
Yeah,
this
'cause
is
we
your
need
last
more-
game amazing.
We need more than one deck of many things in this game right now.
No, don't do it.
It's a new trading card game.
Hamster deck
What
of
ruin do
many
you
things.
have?
Many things.
9. I got to 9.
Yeah. It seems like a good idea at the time, and you're just like, I'm not lying. That might have been a bad idea.
Oh.
Yeah. You miss.
Okay.
You end up, as you're reaching for it and you think you're going to get, you actually tug on the beard of the wizard behind the thing instead, and he just kind of, he regards you rather strangely, like, okay.
Sorry.
You jump out through the window, and now you're all on the ocean cliffside of Verdeneth, once called Kraken's Fall, and floating above you is Saranthus.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a sphere of annihilation nearby?
No, there's not. It.
Nice.
Why is there never a spear of annihilation when you need one?
One of these days
Yeah, I
she's
always-
going to ask, and Todd's going to say yes. And it's
I
going to be
always
amazing.
keep mine. I keep my keys, my lighter, my smear of annihilation. Yeah.
It's in the credenza. Yeah.
Oh, the credenza.
How do you live with yourself?
Do we see Evil Averyn or any of Evil Averyn's clones, or is it just us and Saranthus and a tower?
Oh yeah, you see a ton of Evil Averyn clones. There's like easily 30 or 40 of them.
Do we see Evil Averyn?
Yes, he has also begun to hover.
Of course.
I was going to roll my eyes and be like, and she brought him
Yin and
too.
yang here. Don't let them touch.
Let them fight. Do they seem mad at each other?
Let's
Probably
incite
not.
them.
Yeah, we are but ants in front of them.
Saranthus, I heard that zombie Averyn called thine mother.
A strumpet.
Dirty, dirty harlot.
Ooh, what?
No, you did.
What does Verdeneth look like?
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
wondering.
is ruined and destroyed by
And it's
the Kraken.
raining. yeah?
Kraken. Okay, wait,
The
is
Kraken
this
that had fallen there.
Is the Kraken body
Okay,
still
but-
there?
No, the Kraken body isn't. You can see in the distance through the lightning and the current storm that is happening. You see its transmorgified form, where it was once a Kraken. It became infected by some specialized version of Ceramorphosis by the Elithids, and is now essentially the size of a very large castle with tentacles streaming out where its face once was. And it is swiping down any forms of resistance from not only the Githyanki and their sail barges and red dragons, but also hunting down innocent people as well.
Wait, so is this when we were did we get transported back in time to when we
No.
were okay, so this is a different Githyanki dragon army.
Yes,
Okay.
freely.
Question. I was told when I was traveling and communicating with the coin goddess, who you thought was a very different person, quite frankly. She warned me about the Githyanki trying to free an old god from a prison. was this what she showed me? Was this what she was telling me, or was that something else? Because that was the message I was supposed to deliver.
She showed you a cavern deep beneath the city of Verdaneth, and a very large door covered with runes you had never seen before. Unless, do you speak giant?
Hey man, I might.
I love it when halflings speak giant. It's my favorite.
Let me get. No, I do not. I speak common and halfling. Sorry.
Okay, so you don't know what the runes mean.
Although I do recount as I'm watching this. I'm like, so yeah, again, remember when I told you that the coin lady talked to me when we were traveling? She showed me, and I recount what you just told me. So I don't know if that's relevant, but that was the thing that happened.
Does that sound like the same room that when I was in the time bubble I found in the book?
No.
Okay. Does it sound like anything that I've read about in the library?
You can make an amazing Arcana check. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
All the zombies are struggling to get their foothold, not being very dexterous. They are all attempting. All the Avron zombie clones are all attempting to get some kind of footing so they can start up their attack against you again. Some of them have fallen into the ocean.
How's a 28 for that amazing Arcana check?
That's pretty great. I cannot hear Briv Steelmarrow because silence has been cast upon him.
Actually, cough was cast, but are we on the prime material plane?
What?
Are we on the prime material plane now? We are. Correct?
You are absolutely on the prime material plane.
I pull out my whistle and I call for Spiral.
Yeah.
About time.
All right, you call your
Wonder
whistle.
how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
Oh, he should be very close because it's dramatically appropriate.
Let me take my dramatic die.
Roll for
Alyndra,
drama.
Dramatic die. I love that.
Yeah.
Alyndra, Sarrbarand, what are you attempting to do?
I was doing the Arcana check you asked for.
And what was it?
28.
Do you speak giant?
I do, in fact, speak giant.
Okay. These are protection and warding runes to keep an entity known as Hode inside.
What do I know about Hode?
You'll need a religion check for that. What is
Wait,
Keen? What is Orkira doing?
Is this
What
the
is-
Hodor?
What?
We have lost a player. Penelope, fine. Thanks, TJ. That's great.
It's a
Now no one wants to play with us.
23.
Need one of my vampire powers, cloud memory. Everyone forget that happened.
We need like a live edit button in Twitch where we can just like press it and like, oh, I don't know, a glitch.
All we have to do is put a mind flare on the show, and that will just
Don't
make
even
Twitch
say it.
fail. So
Okay. What is Penelope Half-Fight doing?
No. Why does Penelope have to go first? I have no idea.
Okay.
So okay. So we have two gods in the sky.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of confused about where this giant thing is. And we've got
Giant things
zombies.
deep underground in Verdaneth.
and you're
Let us
still a
bring
tree.
the gods to the other force of destruction. Perhaps they will engage one another.
What did I figure out about Hode? I have a 23 on the religion.
Hode was created by Odin to murder the killer of Balder.
Ooh.
So a god killer.
Do we know? Is she the only one that knows about this?
We
Yeah.
heard a bit about it because Alyndra was sending, when we were on the spaceship, Alyndra was sending back and forth with what we know now is Illithid Avron, but that story was told to her and she related to us. So we might not know the names, but we know that the thing that's buried is the son, the god that can kill other gods that was created to kill the god that killed a god.
Oh,
In the
sorry.
gift-
I misspoke. Vale is the one who's held inside. Hode
Not
is
her.
the one he murdered. Hode is the one he was created to murder by Odin.
So Vale was created to murder Hode.
And then was stuck in a box.
Hode was the killer of Baldur. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Tricked by the god Loki.
I'm flying and holding on to Alyndra and just listening to her like narrate as she's
Yeah.
figuring things out. And I'm like, I don't know if I know any of what's going on, but this
Just
all
trying
just
to track
sucks.
who was good and bad. So okay. So Baldur was tricked by Loki, or Hode was tricked by Loki?
Hode was.
Okay. So Hode was innocent, in theory.
Yes.
So if Hode was innocent, and Vale was created to murder Hode, who was innocent, so Vale is bad, Hode good.
Yep. And Vale is the one who's locked
Vale's
away.
being held. Mm.
At this moment, you get like just a brief second beyond all of this chaos and waves are crashing around you. You see an immense Githyanki fleet accompanied by what look like thousands of red dragons, and they are just setting fire to everything they see. It doesn't matter if it's a town, it doesn't matter if it's other mind flayer ships that are also in the sky. They're not as organized, but there are Naloid ships flying with their tendrils trying to grasp any red dragon that gets by, and they are shooting energy spikes out at the red dragons at the same time. The entire sky is filled, almost like fireworks, with magical fire, the breath of red dragons, giant ballista bolts being shot around, and it feels like the world is ending.
Oh, this is
All
it.
the while, this giant twisted kraken is grasping and occasionally grabbing a red dragon and cracking it, but also smashing villages in the distance.
Penelope's roots grow out to all of her friends and grasp onto their hands, and she just says, I'm glad I'm with you guys at the end of all things.
I have an idea.
We could use ideas right now.
What can we do?
We have many enemies on this battlefield, and we need to get them to engage one another. Perhaps the Gith and the Mind Flayers will realize that Saranthus is the chief threat here.
Is she?
I shall convince them.
I don't know if we have time. I don't know if who do we even begin to talk to who won't just attack us.
when we see Alithid Averin, we did lay quite a beating on him. Does he look injured still?
Oh yeah, he does. He looks like he's in a bad shape.
Yeah. Is he even remotely reachable? I mean, I know
is
he's
hovering
flying,
about
but
60 feet as well. And Orkira?
Aye.
Is Spiral responding at all?
You think you hear a noise, but it's hard to hear from all the sounds of battle, and there are crashing ships and crashing dragons, and occasionally you're spattered by blood like rain coming down from red dragons being torn asunder. And even the ocean itself has slowly started to turn red. Orkira, you get hit.
Yeah,
with-
before you say anything, is it an attack?
It's definitely an attack.
From who?
It's coming directly from Averin.
Okay. Warding flare right in his face. Nope.
Okay.
He's
What does that
got
do?
disadvantage. It's disadvantage on the attack. I'm trying to be good in saying that before you tell me if it is.
And,
It doesn't matter.
knowing she does that, I ready the hand with the card to see if he gets injured and I can card him.
A warding flare doesn't injure; it just stops him from. It just gives him
Okay.
disadvantage on attacking me, which you would know.
He should be
but
pretty hurt though. That Briv, Keen, and
Yeah,
Freely
that's
all
true.
laid into
Bailing
him. So
I'll ready it in
Yeah.
case it distracts him enough that I can get at him with the card.
Orkira, you take 45 points of radiant damage from guiding bolt.
Okay.
Oh.
Are
Ow.
we in initiative at this point?
Yeah, we're in initiative. Saranthus is
Can
now
you-
taking her turn.
I guess I forfeit my turn.
Can,
didn't
can
I?
you give us an idea of what the battlefield looks like immediately nearby? I don't understand the ranges
You
of
are
position.
you are on the side of a cliff leading into the ocean. It is definitely there is a grade to it. You can see the city of Verdaneth very closely. Waves are crashing, and they're slowly kind of tainted by the blood of red dragons at this point, crashing up around you. At the same time, above you, there are ships. There are Lithid ships flying around, trying to attack red dragons, trying to fight off skiffs of Githyanki, and the zombie Averins are having a great deal difficulty standing up, but they are now up and rising up and approaching the heroes of the Vale at the same time. Saranthus is floating above you, as is this twisted form of Averin at the same time.
And what are the distances between us and them and each other?
They are both floating about 60 feet. Averin is above the ocean. Saranthus is higher up on the cliff.
And I'm
So we're between
flying
them.
with Alyndra. So we're a little bit higher. Okay.
And oh god, I'm so sorry, Penelope.
She's a tree.
She is a tree.
I lost all my temporary hit points with that fall, though.
It was a 20.
Mm.
But you still go back to your normal hit points if you revert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're just picking it as a tree.
Yeah, but
Better
she's
as a
awesome
tree
as a
than as a bush.
tree. True, but she's awesome as a tree. I mean, she's awesome as a halfling too, but I like her as a tree.
We love you as a tree. We love you as a demon, even. We love you
You love me when I'm dead?
as a shrub.
You erupt as if like a firebolt strikes you as a tree and you erupt into flame. You take 55 points of fire damage.
Okay. I am burning, but I still keep my stare on Saranthus.
Are you still
Okay.
a tree?
I am.
A burning tree
A burning
on the
tree.
side of a cliff. All right.
I am a symbol.
Freely, we'll go ahead and go round robin. You went and held your action, correct, Penelope? Or we're just going to go around the room?
Well, okay. Let me just put my damage down. I'm still alive. Okay. I'm going to try to cast Earthbind on Saranthus.
Will that cause her to fall?
It'll cause her to be immediately, like I'll throw a vine up and it pulls her to the ground. She has to make a save. Which
All right,
She'll
what's the save?
descend slowly.
Save is 4. Oh gosh. Sorry, my
4?
internet. No, what? No, hang on. Internet went down on my laptop, so now I'm doing this on my phone. Ugh.
Mhm.
Earthbind, you
What
say?
did I say? Yes, Earthbind, thank you. There it is. Strength saving throw. Or sorry, strength saving for 14. She'll descend 60 feet per round.
A vine erupts out of the ground and wraps itself around Saranthus and pulls her down to the ground.
I have seen this before. I would like to be underneath her when she descends, waiting,
Okay.
if possible.
Freely, what is your action?
Talking is a free action, right? I mean,
Yeah.
going to do something, but I can say something. All right. So quick question, Orkira. The times that you've been, this is me, OOC. The times you've been agonizing about the Phoenix, is that stuff you've been saying out loud, or are these things in your own head? I'm just wondering if freely.
Most of it was silently because I was speaking to the Phoenix. There would have been at the very end, just before we all got buried, I was asking Alyndra what she thought I should do. So you probably got a sense of me being torn about something.
I'm just going to yell, Orkira, whatever thing you were thinking, whether or not you should do it, now's the time you should do that thing. And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast Alithid Avrin.
Okay.
Because F that
Go ahead and
guy.
roll.
He just set my girl on fire again.
Keen, go ahead and make your attack on Saranthus.
That is an AO. Let me check. Sorry. That is 22 to hit him.
You hit him.
Yeah. Smite only works off melee attacks, right?
That's correct. Well,
that'd be
or
great
ranged
if I could
attacks,
smite
yeah.
off of an Eldritch Blast.
Yeah,
be
that's a
interesting.
big no.
Just making sure.
Yeah, Hexblades are worse as bad are bad as it is.
I think amazing is what you meant there. Amazing.
I mean, amazing.
That's,
Avrin's a Hexblade. So
that's a big old 10 points of damage. I'm like, Orkira,
There
do
was an
it!
attempt made.
Avrin's this weird Alithid hybrid of Avrin is like flowing in the air, and he's not even looking at freely, and he just gets like dink, and just like looks at you. Really? Keen day of breath.
I hit with the lowest one being 18, but I believe
18
the
hit.
butt missed. The butt missed with a 14, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Or did it
the butt
hit?
misses.
Thank you. That is 18 points of damage from my blade, spinning and slicing, but I wait for her as she falls, and as the vine drags her to the ground, this is what she finds underneath her. Then I slash again, and it is a total of 18 points of damage from the blades. It is a total of 25 points of fire damage because I am in my summer, and it is time for her to burn.
As you turn to summer, there's a glow around Keen at the same time, and it illuminates. The entire area is illuminated not only by the fire that kind of surrounds Keen at this moment, but the fire of the burning Penelope half-pint tree. And you are all cast in this orange glow as the rain is falling all around you.
Has the card
Alyndra
tapped her
Sarrbarand,
yet?
what are you doing?
I've been trying to tap her with the card.
Tap, tap, tap.
You can do a
this.
sleight of hand check using Mage Hand to try to hit her with a card, with her not noticing.
Okay.
Where are you?
I'm with Orkira. But I've been trying to do that on every attack everybody's taken. It's been behind her the whole time.
This all happens at the
I
same
was
time.
going to try to give you.
Don't you want to go home?
Don't you want to go back in your home?
Tappity tap tap.
12. So no, that was terrible.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
She
so
sees the card.
That's happening. Okay. I want to explain what I'm gonna try and do. It's gonna play out obviously in game, but it's different. I want to minor illusion the card in my hand and have the actual one in the mage hand.
This is
behind
exactly
her.
what Avrin did in the first episode.
Oh my god!
You were even there for it.
You did do it.
I am my father's daughter, and I was going to say that anyway
That's
when I
amazing.
did it. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this. So I am going to try and, I have seen your power, Saranthus. And I have learned, since the last time we met, quite a bit. I've seen there is error in our ways. Perhaps we can come to some sort of agreement. So obviously, I don't think I can do this turn. If she's seen the card behind her.
Yeah.
But next turn, that's what I'm going for.
Okay. What is Orkira doing?
Alyndra, how close do you need to be for Mage Hand to work?
Mage Hand, I think it's 120. Oh, 30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay. Are Illithid Averyn and Saranthus within 30 feet of each other now that she's been pulled to the ground?
No, they're not within 30 feet of each other.
60 feet. At this
Okay.
point.
Yeah. Alyndra, do you have both of the blank cards?
I do.
Your Mage Hand has one. Okay. And
Shouldn't there only be one blank card now that one of them is taken
Mm-mm.
up by evil Penelope?
The void.
no, because Void is still empty.
No, we had Void,
Void is
Death,
empty.
and Ruin.
Yeah.
So we have 2 blank cards.
No, Ruin's filled.
Ruin's
yeah.
filled, so we have Death
Yeah,
and Void.
so we have the 2 blank cards.
Yeah.
So you've got one of the blank cards in your Mage Hand. Where is the other one?
In my pocket.
And how far? Sorry about all these questions, but this is
okay.
important. How far off the ground are we?
That can be up to you because you're
At
the
least
one carrying
30.
us.
If she's using Mage Hand, then it'd be 30 feet at least, or at most.
Yeah. Because all right, so here's what I want to do.
Saranthus is on her way down as I was
yeah.
using it.
I'm not exactly sure. Orkira doesn't know exactly what Alyndra's plan is. This statement obviously doesn't ring true. She's slightly distracted by Averyn in the air and now knows what this plan is. She wants to grab the card in Alyndra's pocket, drop her, fly to Averyn, and whack him in the face with the card.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Wow.
She has a fly speed of 50 feet. But that's why I want to know, am I high enough? Am I so high that I'm going to injure Alyndra when I drop her if we're only like 10 feet up? I just want
She's
to...
got featherfall.
You don't know.
Mm,
And tell me what your intelligence is?
Mine?
Yes.
Oh,
Not
you know
you,
what mine
Lauren's
is.
intelligence is
What's
incredibly
your
high.
intelligence, Lauren?
Lawrence?
I would like to think mine is average. Or Kira's is an 8.
Yeah, you don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so I think in this moment, because the other plan that's been offered to her is a plan that she thinks is going to kill everybody. So she's going to drop Alyndra, she's going to grab the card out of her pocket, drop Alyndra, fly to Averyn, and yeah, smack in the face with the card, like right in his forehead.
All right, I need you to make an attack roll of attack rolls. Your little
Sure.
clawed hand lets go of Alyndra for a second, dips into her pocket, pulls out the card, and you fly full bore directly at Averyn.
Yeah. So is this like a grapple? Is this an attack? It's
a full attack. And then
All
as
right.
you're coming up to Averyn, like, I tried to be such good friends to you. I tried to make you heroes. I did my best. I tried to be a good daughter to Alyndra.
And
now
like in
this
the
is
middle
how
of
you
him
treat
saying
me.
that. No. Like in the middle of him saying that. I totally want to
Pshaw.
in the face. So 15.
Oink.
15 hits.
Does it do what I'm hoping it will do?
Which card is it?
Alyndra, which card is it? I would have just
you
grabbed the
have
one that's in your
Void,
pocket.
Because Death is what's in my Mage Hand.
You see all of Averyn, and you see almost like his skin get peeled back and his eyes turn white, and you can almost see as he almost transforms into a full mind flare as you're doing this, and twists and cracks as his legs squeeze into the card, and his waist gets skinny and continues. He becomes like a Salvador Dali painting, whereas the features are completely twisted and warped, and he just says, I just wanted to make you heroes. I am your friend. And gets sucked into the card.
Bonk.
One
Oh.
god at a time. I put the card in my pack.
Briv, do better than
So-
that.
Avrin, I shall not. So Avrin is gone. Saranthus remains. How high up is Saranthus?
She's about 6 feet up.
6 or 60?
60.
Okay, just
She got
making sure.
pulled.
I thought she got pulled down.
Just for everyone watching at home, if you're using levitation and you're only at 6 feet, why?
Yeah, but she did get pulled down with
Because pit
Earthbind, right?
traps.
Oh, you're right. She is not at all
Okay,
levitating anymore. She has a vine wrapped around her.
so I am simply just walking forward to her big strides. I kind of like twirl the sword one time, and then I'm just going to lay into her with the intent to try to just keep her, again, just distracted while I am hoping that my allies. Briv probably doesn't pick up on what Alyndra's doing, but he's hoping something like that is afoot. So,
And I go
just
out of my
trying-
way to move to the opposite side of her so she can only focus on one or the other, and then the other gets advantage by flanking.
Okay. Go
All
ahead.
right.
So you make attack roll.
So, am I going to have advantage? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay, awesome. So in that case, I am definitely going to use my bonus action to channel divinity, and I am going to use legendary strike, which will allow me to crit on a 19 or a 20.
Okay,
So-
roll them up.
All right. First one is not a crit. Second one, however, is a 19. So that is a total of 27 to hit.
27 points of damage.
And say again.
Oh, that's the roll. Okay, I got you.
That was a critical hit because of the 19. And then the next attack is a 18. Oh, wait, sorry. Didn't roll at advantage. Sorry. So yeah, 18 to hit on the second attack.
Yeah,
Okay.
that hits.
I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. Sorry.
All right. And I'm going to start doing what I can because it's their turn now.
If Saranthus is making an attack, I want to know about it.
Wait, what did you put on me? Lauren, you put something on me.
You and Alyndra
Right.
have Death Ward.
Have
So
Death
if you
And
Ward.
I'm gonna smite here with my last smite.
and Penelope,
Okay.
the Death Ward would only activate when you reach 0. So when
I
you
see.
drop out of your tree form, it's not going to activate then. It'll activate if you're Penelope. But it'll keep you from dying once.
Well, my tree form is a concentration spell, actually. So I'm actually just my hit points at this point. So
Oh, okay.
You hear Saranthus say, Orkira, you of everyone should have understood what I was trying to do. I have been trying to save everyone. I've been trying to bring everyone to the light. And now you are going to die, and I am going to take your little pet phoenix and make it my herald of death because of how you failed. Look at this world. It's falling to pieces. People are dying because you stood up against me and you prevented me from stopping all of this. This is all on you, Orkira.
Thou dost not talk to my friend that way, as she takes 45 points of damage from me slashing her and then stabbing her.
You stab her like right in the chest with a great sword. And you see her visibly shook.
Thou art shook, Saranthus.
She is going to cast Quicken Spell.
Oh, warding flare it so that she has disadvantage.
She's striking you with Guiding Bolt. Orkira.
Yeah.
And she
So she She has disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah, she hit you.
Yeah. It's worth a try.
You take 29 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Orkira falls
Because she
out of the
already had
sky.
advantage on the attack because you had been hit by it before.
I know. I fall out of the sky. That brings me below 0.
You see the body of Orkira fall from the sky and crumple onto the side of the cliff. You wake up, Orkira, outside of a golden city on some other plane of existence. And you see Aelrin dressed all in black, casually throwing rocks against a wall. Right, so, oh, you're dead. Did you die? I've been waiting for you to die for so long, you have no idea. How are things going?
How long did you know?
About what?
So the last time I was here,
Right.
you were also dead.
That's true.
There was
Still
someone
dead.
impersonating you.
That's correct.
Did you know?
Well, I've been a bit busy. I
Yes
was
or
not
no?
entirely aware.
I'm dead, but I'm hoping I'm gonna come back. I don't have a lot of time.
Right. Well, no, not really. I mean, yes, a little bit, depending on your point of view. But I've been explicitly told by other gods that I am not supposed to interfere in the affairs of mortals anymore. I've gotten into a lot of trouble over this. And
that stopped you before.
What are you trying to say?
You know, a lot of this would have been a lot easier if people who knew things just told other people who knew things. And I'm going to turn my back on the city and on Aelrin, and I want to scan the horizon. And do I see the Phoenix anywhere?
No, you don't see the Phoenix anywhere.
That's who I'm looking for. I'm not happy with either of the other two people who are here. And I want the god that I'm currently praying to if I'm dead.
Orkira, if I told you, it would not have mattered.
It would have mattered to me. It would have mattered to Alyndra. And it would have mattered to all of us, even if nothing had changed.
If I had told you, you would have died.
But
And
maybe
everyone else.
maybe other decisions wouldn't have been made that caused a lot of other problems.
Well, how can I make it up to you?
Well, I'm dead. We can start there.
Okay, so you're dead. What would you like to not be?
Dead.
Okay. Well, that's the thing.
It's hard to help my friends when I'm here.
You know, I'm going to get kicked out of this place if I just resurrect you all willy-nilly and everything. Right.
Did you want to go into Paylor City? There it is. Go
No,
have
not
fun.
really. Oh, fine,
not
fine.
going there.
I'm getting kicked out of the God Club because I'm going to resurrect it. Fine. Oh, God. I can't
And
believe I'm
it's
doing
your
this.
choice to make. I'm just telling you, as someone who thought she was your friend, who wants to go help your daughter, who is trying to save the world, and it would have been nice to know about certain things. I'm just talking to a guy who said he was a trickster god who wants to keep the rest of the gods from being mean to him? Really?
Okay, point taken. And also hurtful.
It's been a long couple of months.
They go by so fast here. Well, abracadabra. You're alive. And Orkira, you just wake up.
I do say thank you before I do.
She's so
muddy again.
polite.
Never change her, Kira.
After I just like guilted him into helping. Okay. What, like one
You
hit
just
point?
guilted a god into resurrecting you.
To be fair, he had it coming.
Yeah.
It's true. All of her points were very valid.
He
And
asked. I told
when
him.
she wakes up, like literally a lightning bolt strikes Orkira and she just wakes up.
Ah, that wasn't me.
"Mm, that's never fun. That's not fun.
The zombies have begun approaching everyone at this exact moment, and the war continues, and you see it. It is now Penelope Halfpine's turn.
Penelope stands in front of the now earthbound Saranthus. She is a embering tree at this point, who will never
Okay.
ember. And she looks at Saranthus and says, "You are a blight on this world." And she will cast Blight on
What does Blight do?
Saranthus. Necromantic
Nice.
energy will literally suck the vitality and life out of her for
She got an
8d8.
entire 7.
Yep, con save 14. So she will take 8d8. And
Yeah.
I will add that up in a second. Oh, yes. 5, 13, 14, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22. Oh, 22 plus 8, that's 30. 37, 38. 38 plus 3 is 40, 43 points, 42 points,
Oh,
43
yeah.
points of damage.
I don't know. We're too busy cheering you on to do math. We're like,
I've
The
killed you
light in
once, so I'll
Saranthus
kill you again.
dims and her face becomes hollow and her eyes go completely opaque as all of the moisture leaves her body and the divine light also seems to shrivel. And now you see before you a thin skeleton with just the remnants of skin on her as all of the moisture has been evaporated from her body. And she tries to reach out at you, and she casts Hellish Rebuke.
Sounds fitting. You sent me to hell once, so I will happily go again.
not if I have anything to say about it.
It's all very poetic.
I was never much for poetry.
Penelope just looks at her friends with a very
You take
big,
35 points of
innocent-
fire damage as
innocent
she,
smile.
the skeleton points at Penelope Halfpint and fire blasts and strikes Penelope Halfpint.
And Penelope goes up in flames until she is ash.
Except when you hit 0, Death Ward happens and you go back to 1.
Yes!
Yeah.
Even if it's
There is
30,
a-
even if it's 31 points of damage below.
Yup.
It activates as soon as if it here. Oh, hold on. That's why I use my 4th levels for Death Ward all the time. You touch it, so I gave it to you. The first time a target would drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, instead drops to 1 hit point and the spell ends.
Okay.
I am never ember. I will never burn.
Yes. So good.
Because of my
Freely?
friends.
I will say, like, she's definitely distracted. We don't need to take combat out of turn, but the card is right next to her at this point for Alyndra.
I have it. Yeah, I have it in the mage hand up high.
Go ahead and do sleight of hand with advantage.
Okay, here we go.
I'll give you my one last bardic inspiration.
Awesome.
I believe in you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, 17. So 24 plus 26. So I reach out my hand and I say, Saranthus, I believe we can reach an accord. You see, I am the daughter of Avon. These are all fools. They think that I was with them, but I've come to see your way is better. Here, take my hand.
She puts her hand out. I'm glad that you've seen the
And I
light,
have the card.
child.
And I have the card between my fingers, the minor illusion, and I reach it out to her to take. And I have
grabs
the
it.
real one right behind her. And as she takes it, I say, I am Alyndra, Alexandria, Garanahil, Sarrbarand, daughter of Oblivion. And it sucks her in.
You see the skeletal form of Saranthus dissolve and absorb into the card, and now you see her holding a scythe, and now she has become death.
And I say, and you should know that I am my father's daughter. And I turn back to my friends.
You hear a whisper on the wind. I hate you all.
You'll be the first. Are we out of initiative or are we still of initiative?
You're
we
out of
still have
combat.
Well,
I-
is
You're
the
out of
battle still
combat,
happening?
and the zombie Averins have all fallen to the ground, lifeless.
But are the
So,
Elithids and the
Githyanki-
Githyanki still fighting?
The Lithas and the Githyanki are in a full-fledged war right now.
But they're over
I-
there for the moment, right?
I lay
Yeah.
on hands Penelope, so 10 hit points. And I'm like,
Ooh.
can't lose you again.
I'll stumble over and do the same with the cure wounds at 3rd level.
What?
Oof.
Orkira, how art thee? Art thou fine?
Ask me
Wait,
later.
wait, wait. Okira.
9. Nope, it's too late. I already rolled it.
Damn it. Well then, an eye for an eye.
You get
I
19 hit
cast-
points back.
Thank you. I cast Guardian Spirit on both of us. Or we're both
Oh,
within the
nice.
radius. So let me get that.
I mean,
19.
I was needed heal. This is an AoE heal because I was hurt too.
Yes. It's within a radius.
Killing spirit?
Yep.
Giant elk.
Cool.
A giant
You
I'm going to hop in
see
there
several
too.
red dragons flying in your direction at this exact moment. A
As this is
swarm
going
of
on,
them.
do I get the impression that anyone still is not whole after
you can
Guardian
you can
Spirit?
tell. Yeah.
Is
I think
anybody
everyone's-
not whole?
Oh, there's healing spirits. Okay.
It depends on how long we get to hang out in the healing spirit and
Oh, I
where
see.
if we're leaving or
cube.
what's going on.
You get every turn you get 1d6. So it just depends on
I believe the
everyone-
priority is to make sure that these cards,
We need
these
to-
prisons, are safe, that they are hidden away where no one shall ever find them, and they likely should be separated. What is our plan?
I think we gather them all. And I think we send them to our friend Valdred.
What do you think, Freely?
I'm sorry, freely set Saranthus free. I no offense intended, freely, but I'm not sure that I trust your judgment. In these
I still
matters.
would like to hear what he has to say. He has proven himself in battle here today.
OOC. Saranthus revealed to me the location of this prison. Was that anywhere near where we are?
Yeah, deep beneath the city of Verdanith.
Like, well, yeah, I set Saranthus loose to save Penelope, and it worked. Yay! So I'm looking out over the battle, and I'm like, oh, I can't leave this like this, and I don't know if letting loose the other god in the prison is a good idea. And you guys have all these relics and powers and things. I just have this, and I hold up my sword. So I'm like, so those dragons are coming, and if I gotta cut them up, I will. But I'm open to suggestions, and I only know of one other card to play, and that's the guy in the prison.
How long do we have before the dragons show up?
You have maybe a minute at most.
That's plenty. of
Who
time.
is he talking about? in the prison.
I will explain it as concisely as I can.
Maybe taking, say, 20 seconds, and we could all get some healing.
Okay.
Sure.
So
we'll say
ultimately,
Vale.
that's Vale, though.
Yes, the
Just
rooms
making
are
sure,
Vale,
because
who
I don't
Yeah.
think
created
Briv
to
would know
murder
that.
Toad was killed. Was the killer of Walder, it was a trick by Loki. So that's what happened.
How long did that take?
18 seconds?
You see what is almost a tidal wave of Githyanki, because two of the most powerful magical effects on this entire planet just took place. And now everyone's looking at you, both armies. And the giant Kraken Elithid is now stomping towards you. And on the coming from another direction is just an ocean of red dragons and Githyanki skiffs, all coming up like a tidal wave, curving over you, about to descend on the heroes of the Vale.
I'll take the ones on the left.
I'll take the one on the right.
Thank
And then I just kind of
me.
hit freely,
to
like
slay
a
a
little
dragon.
harder than I should on his back, and encourage
Freely
him.
falls over.
Hellish rebuke!
Mean-
Pow! No, I don't.
You still have that rod.
I do, and I am considering if this is a battle we must fight. What is
Let's not
here
fight it.
worth fighting for?
The land, the people.
I think we need to go to the tower first and get the rest of the deck. Like that's the priority, right?
The
Getting rest
the
of
tower
deck.
is like partially in the ocean at this point.
But we need the
the
deck.
deck
And we
is
have
down.
the deck. Briv has the
We
deck.
have all of
Like,
it. I thought
Yeah,
That was
the-
another
there's
deck.
two completely. It was
that
a
was
second
there's
deck.
2 decks. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I-
and we're making sure
I
that
hand
there's nothing
the
missing
cards-
from that. We don't want the Gith having that.
Well,
Can I send?
give
can
this
I
to
send Griff
thee,
to
Lady
the tower to get the
Alyndra.
deck?
I
send
give this
Griff
to
the
thee,
tower to get-
hoping that thou canst hide it effectively.
Okay, I'll take it and I'll cast all of the usual words that I used to cast on the rod on that. But can I send Griff to the tower to get the second deck? 'Cause I want to make sure no
it's-
cards are missing from that, because all we need is another set of gods running around.
Yeah, you can send Griff to
Lame.
go after the other deck.
Okay.
and I'll hand the card that I have. I'll pull it out of the pack and hand it to Alyndra, so she's got the full Heroes of the Vale pack.
I also
Please tell
toss
me that
back the
Griff turns
Sarantis
into a
coin.
sea
I don't know
otter.
if it's relevant anymore, but if I'm like, I think that's yours.
I can get it.
Are we protecting something in this world? Is there something worth protecting? Are there any people
Yeah, there's still
left
innocent
alive?
people.
There's still
There
a
are
lot of
always
people.
people to protect.
When this is the prime material plane too, right? Like this is the world.
This is everything.
And we would
We have
require
been to
an
many
army
worlds.
to protect them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would
Or
require
some-
an army
Do you have
because
one?
we cannot beat both of them now alone.
I turn and I look at Orkira and I hold her by the hand and I'm like, whatever you're afraid of, whatever destruction you think you're going to unleash, it cannot be worse than that. Remember, I saw the Elithids. I know what they're planning. I see these dragons. I know what they want. And those Githyanki are trying to unleash some god killer. Whatever you're going to
There are
do
no-
it.
Gods for them to kill now.
Is this world
Keen.
called Valheim?
It's called Valeheim.
Valeheim. And
You have the rod.
2 armies are descending upon us, and I have the rod that can transport and open portals.
The rod allowed
what
you to
does-
take you to the Shadowfell.
We cannot allow this deck to come into the possession of either of these armies. The priority is to secure this and make sure that it is hidden away forever.
We can't.
We could
run.
return and perhaps help this world.
So maybe the rest of you take all that stuff and go. And I'm gonna talk with a friend of mine.
No, Kira,
And I'll
we're
pull
not
out the
leaving
red
you.
gem again.
No,
No.
Kira, don't.
At least if you.
Why on-
So the problem before, and I'll give Freely the side eye, which I didn't have time to explain, is if I had done this earlier, was going to kill all of you at the same time. But if you want to take 6 seconds and go to the Shadowfell, and then everything
You
that's
want-
around here.
Orkira, why?
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm made of fire, remember?
We shall hold the portal until thou canst join us.
I don't think that's how that works. I think you just go. I seem to remember King just
What?
made y'all go. But that's okay.
What
Because you'll
language?
go and you'll be safe. And then I'll chat with the Phoenix and clear all this out. It'll be fine.
What language was the prophecy given in for Orkira?
What prophecy?
The Destroyer of Worlds prophecy.
I don't. There was no prophecy other than Avon telling her so.
Okay. And
Um,
you've told me
Freely
that's
just-
what he told you, right?
Hey, listen, I've done this twice without destroying a world. There's no reason why I have to destroy this one. I'm just going to destroy all that. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Orkira,
I'll just have to
he
catch up with all of you.
lies.
You don't sound sure.
He lies and he twists things. He's my father, but he lies and he twists things.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of time for debate.
And I'm not
I
going to be talking to
agree,
him.
and I also agree that Orkira, thou hast a powerful weapon, and I agree that we art thine allies. And so, if thou art to use this weapon, I, at least speaking for myself, shall remain and stand by thine side.
As
No,
shall
but you
I.
have to. The important thing is that you're not here so that you don't get caught in the blast. Also, someone needs to go and protect the deck and the coin and all that stuff. And if you're all here, no one's doing that. So that's why you have to go, right? It's going to be fine. I'll catch up.
Orkira, you're letting the words of one man.
I'm not going to
change
destroy the world.
course.
No. I'm just going to chat with my God. It'll be fine.
You can do that without any of that. We're staying. We are staying with you, or you are coming with us. It's one or the other.
Huzzah.
Look, it would just be for a minute, right, Alyndra? It wouldn't be forever. She's trying to protect us, and I can see that. And while I don't want to leave her, I think we have to think about all the people that we need to save.
I'm just gonna have a little chat with the Phoenix, and then there's gonna be a lot of fire, and I'm just gonna
You're
be
not
thinking
hurt.
about all of you being here if you're still here.
All of
Alyndra,
thou canst go. This is not how I die. I've seen my fate. I can stay and protect Orkira while she communes with her deity.
While
she
Briv
wants
is
to
talking,
protect you.
while this is
I
happening,
don't need
I'm gonna
protection. I don't die like this.
grab the gem. I'm gonna quickly, silently pray to the Phoenix and say, "All right, what do I gotta do in order to take care of this?" And I'm basically looking at the Gith, the red dragons, all that.
If you summon me, I will destroy everything here. In this place.
But just here, not we're not doing the whole world. It's like the last time. We're just doing this, not everything, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. And then out loud, she'll say, okay, you might want to get out of here real fast. Love y'all, bye. And then she's going to start to immediately fly away.
Wait,
towards
Orkira,
the
wait.
city. No,
Wait, Orkira,
She's
please.
she's going to start to fly. She thinks you're all staying here. And so she's,
I message her and I start to sing one of the songs.
I turn
that
into
I
a
had
giant
sent
eagle.
her.
I turn into a giant eagle and I fly to her. And I pull off my Never Ember acorn. And just in my beak, I have it. And I just drape it over her so that she won't burn. And then I let her go.
I grab it.
So thousands of dragons are descending, and a single golden dragonborn with wings is flying to meet them.
I look in my pack and at the egg.
Okay.
Does it look any different?
Nope.
Okay.
Keen, I think we need to go. Orkira has made her choice to save everyone.
That is a true hero. I use the rod because I do know the ways, but not to the Shadowfell. I take the heroes to a safe place so they can deposit the decks in a place later that cannot hurt anyone.
You attempt to use the rod?
Yes, and I let them know that I am coming.
Only you disappear, and suddenly you see Keen seemingly disappear out of nowhere as if he has abandoned the heroes of the Vale.
I just I reach over and I take Penelope's hand and I say, well, this wasn't how I saw it going, but it was still worth it. And pull out my sword, like ready to go.
Mm. I squeeze
All
your
right, are you
hand.
chanting the ritual, Orkira?
Do I still see them? So Keen has disappeared, but everybody else is still there.
Are you
Did you
trying to look
at
back?
us?
Yeah. I'm waiting until the very last minute. I'm waiting to see if
They're
I'm trying to
still
get as
there.
far away from them, but
And
come on.
can I polymorph anyone into anything that is protected against fire?
Has Spiral made it yet?
You
Oh,
dear.
jeez, I forgot about Spiral. Oh, I'm gonna kill Spiral. Oh god.
Oh, Lauren.
You do hear a call, and a very not graceful griffin slowly
maybe
descends from the
Incredibly
air,
graceful in his own
doing a
way.
weird spiral, and does a skip, stop on the slippery
And it's
rocks, and also
fabulous.
eviscerates one of the clone Averins accidentally, and starts wiping its claw off onto the cliff.
Hail, Spiral. 'Tis good to see thee, my old friend. Let's take it up one last time. And Briv climbs aboard and
Yep.
says, if we are to be here for this spectacle, I at least shall have a better view. And then he flies up into the air. Farewell, if that's what this is, friends. 'Tis been quite the
No,
adventure.
Briv, I message Briv, come back now.
Riv's taken off.
I hear the message though, right?
Yep.
Oh, Lady
Penelope,
Alyndra.
come quickly. And I cast a tiny hut.
Oh.
Clever girl.
But what about Keen? Keen, where did he go?
He's at least
I
safe
use
at this
sending,
point.
and I send a
Penelope.
message to Keen to try and tell Keen to come back and to come to the hut. But I don't know if it'll reach him, and I don't know if he'll be safe if he tries. So
I'll leave
Keen?
a space for him.
vanished before. All I can do is hope he comes back.
All right. Do you start heading back, Briv?
I do.
Walton crawls out from Penelope Halfpine's pouch. All right. He dusts himself off. It got a bit hot. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what's going on outside, but all right. I don't want to get emotional, but I like all of you very much. And we are clearly all going to die now. But we are going to fight. And maybe it'll be fun. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll be horrible evisceration and death and pain. But I'd like to think it will be fun.
Oh, Walton, give you a big hug.
And Flo floats out from Briv.
We are not going anywhere. I always wanted to fight a dragon. I mean, I don't want to die, but you know.
I actually believe, Flo, that we shall sit inside this extra dimensional space while a giant extraplanar entity called a phoenix destroys everything around us, and that we shall emerge safe and sound. At least that's the theory. I'm not sure how solid the science is, but I suppose we shall see.
I can't
I've done the science as best I can.
I got like 1% of all of that.
Now, what science?
It's like magic.
What's
Equal
that?
numbers.
Why, when I
It's a
see
way
what
that silly
Alyndra's
people try to explain magic.
when I see what Alyndra's doing, I just start I still hold on to Penelope's hand with one hand, and I just started laying down cover fire with the Eldritch Blast, trying to cover Orkira. Just like.
Meanwhile, I'm now just hovering. I'm like hovering in the air. I've pulled out the book. I got the gem. I'm looking at all of you. I'm like, get in the hut. Get in the hut. Get in. I'm like giving you the stink eye from hundreds of feet away.
The doorway for Spiro.
I thank thee. And then I kind of clasp Penelope. Are you still a giant eagle, or?
No, I've shaped back. To
Okay,
take
so I just
Bailey's
kinda-
hand.
I kind of just place my hand on your shoulder, and it kind of gets your whole back because my hand's giant compared to you, and simply say, "All right, Penelope, let's go home." And then he kind of ushers her into the hut.
Once I get everyone inside, I will take the knowledge we have learned, and I will pray to Ogma, and you are all blessed. And then I will take out my book and a pen, because I am about to witness something that should be recorded and shared.
Home is where the friends are. And I'm so
What's
glad I'm
your-
home.
What's your difficulty? I see.
For what?
You hear a voice. Well, she's clearly going to die. But I figured I'll kill her friends at the same time. And someone casts Dispel Magic and the hut disappears. And you see a golden dragonborn
I
with a
cast
burnt
a
hand.
counterspell. Oh no, a counterspell that.
Do you have to see it? Oh, counterspell? All right, it's counterspell
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
What level?
How did he get into the hut?
He's not in the hut. He's outside the hut.
I casted it fourth. I have one spell slot left on that.
Does Dispel Magic
Dude.
work on a tiny hut?
It does. It's a spell.
I wasn't sure if you had to dispel magic on the hut or on Alyndra since she's concentrating on it. So sorry.
No, you can dispel
I
it.
don't have to keep concentration on it once it's up.
Sorry.
Wait,
Mhm.
I hate to say it, she has to be able to see the target to counterspell, so it's up to you if she saw it or not.
Yeah, I can see through the walls of the hut.
You are
The
surprised.
walls are transparent. It's like a
Maybe
two-sided
it's meant to
mirror.
happen.
It is
'Cause
true,
She was
but
talking
you,
about watching me do the thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
If I can't, I can't. Then everybody's blessed, and we're gonna do this thing.
All right,
Let's do it.
the hut falls down, and you see Valisar.
Cool. I mind spike Valisar at 4th level. No, I
I'm
don't.
on Spiral and I'm following him and murdering this traitorous, lecherous piece of trash.
Yeah.
Alyndra,
Yeah.
get that hut back up.
Okay. That's what I'm doing for the next minute.
minute?
Thought
Yeah.
it took 10.
Oh
minute.
wow, yeah.
So
So
that's-
Orkira, you already facing the red dragons.
Oh, I thought you were casting it with a spell slot. I thought it was going to be 6 seconds.
No, that is.
Well,
with
she
the
did
spell.
with one, her last one.
Okay.
So now
Oh,
she has
okay.
to do
No,
as
I
a ritual.
didn't. No, it's not.
Let's do it. Bring on the Phoenix.
Let's do it. It's time.
Yeah, I can't fight the
How-
Phoenix.
How much can I dodge?
Just do it.
How
Oh,
close is
God.
everything?
Everything's you are now in an initiative with basically 1,000 red dragons. So yeah, not a whole 1,000 of them. Naturally, probably about 10 or 12.
That's not so bad.
Freely
So
just
she was-
yells, if you die, we all die. Do it.
Really? Don't tell her that. Cover your mouth.
I'm probably far enough away because I've just been booking it. So she grabbed the book, she grabbed the thing, she watched everybody enter the hut. She's like, all right, they're all safe. And then just before she was going to cast the ritual, she reached into her pack and she pulled out a little bag with some marshmallows in it, pops one in her mouth, and she starts to do the ritual. Like, well, at least I'm gonna, oh crap, and then sees that happen.
So you cast the
And-
ritual.
She'll cast the ritual, and just before the end, she'll say, if there's any way you could start things far away from my friends, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll save the rest of the marshmallows for when I see you again. I'll summon my god.
Orkira bursts into flames, and she explodes like a nuclear bomb. And all of these red dragons are consumed by the flame, and you feel a blast wave strike all of you at the same time.
I'm trying to get through. Can I catch up? Can I move?
As this is happening, Storm Herald suddenly erupts out of the lightning and the storm, and you see swarms of griffins and griffin riders.
The
With
Eternal
Eladrin
Court
riding on
has
top of them.
spoken. The Eternal Court has spoken. I, Keen Vethorin Deapreth, am officially an Eldritch Knight of the Eternal Court. I am the commander of Storm Herald. Get aboard! We have a city to save before this world burns. I dive towards them, trying to collect them and gather them on the Storm Herald. Run!
The griffins fall down and they start grabbing all of you. I mean, those that are not already on a
being
griffin.
familiar with this is going to just simply start making the hand signals for these griffin riders to capture the quarry that he is after right now before returning to Storm Herald. So I am assuming that they would be equipped with because Briv trained them. They would be equipped with man catchers or anything else that they would need.
They've got a lot of
in-
things. They've also been training in the Feywild for 5 years. So they
Sure.
are good to go.
So they have magical man catchers that are catching this traitorous, lecherous piece of trash and returning to Storm Herald with him.
Okay. I will allow it because Valsar is not very combat friendly. The fire, the circular fire erupts into a phoenix, and the phoenix starts burning through parts of the army. But there is still the Kraken mind flare rising up, covered in viscous slime, regarding the phoenix at the same time.
Am I aboard Storm Heralds? No.
Yes, you've all gone aboard Storm Herald, and then you hear a message. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Is that Rarv?
I heard someone told me, kind of a jerk who's kind of dead right now said he might need some help.
And a dimension door opens up, and Marv and Boom Boom comes out. And Boom Boom goes and picks up Penelope half pint and squeezes her.
Boom boom! Watch out!
And that's how she died. No, sorry.
Don't squish Mom.
And then a goblin walks out of Storm Herald. What's happening? Is everyone doing okay?
Fire up the white meat. We have much to celebrate.
Oh no!
I don't make white meat. My name's Vim. Remember I ride on a moth?
Yes.
Is this the
all
right
time.
place?
I remember thee. Thou dost know the chef in the kitchen, right?
Use message to say, we're very happy you're here, because I know if I try and say it, he won't be able to hear me.
Oh, weird. I heard that.
Magic is amazing.
Tragic is amazing? That's a little edgelord. Okay, well, yeah, whatever. You elves are kind of strange. And then you see a tiny kobold get out as well. You see Thrax, the cook, with a steel iron of all the things I remember, pan. He's like, okay, well, I'm just letting you know whatever I kill, I cook. So that's just how it's gonna be.
Just don't feed it to anyone. It didn't go well last time.
We
Please.
shall have
my
it no
and
other way.
then,
Thrax.
and then we got swallowed by a bag. It did not go well. So please, just keep it to yourself until you're.
And listen, if my god has anything to say about it, it'll all be cooked already.
True. No sushi for anyone.
Nope.
Right, and okay, this may have been a misstep on my part, but I thought he said everybody. So I did summon something else, and I'm not sure if it's going to be at all useful and perhaps very awkward for all of us together at the same time. And then Dimension Door opens up, and Glubby, the gigantic gelatinous cube with a actual helm of telepathy, oozes out.
Oh, if
Oh,
only
God, I'm
Orkira could see this.
I'm so I have. What's going on?
Apparently, Avengers are assembling.
Flo, thine friend, is here. Dost thou want to say hello?
Hello.
All right, what is everyone doing?
I'm running to the tower to prepare the spire.
I'm looking for Orkira.
Shooting
There's
as
no
much as I
Orkira.
can at any targets. Still fighting to the last second.
In the distance, you see the body of Orkira on the ground, dead.
Send a griffin. Briv, send a griffin.
No need. Briv's already going that direction if he saw where she was. Making a beeline for Orkira's body.
All right. The red dragons are descending upon Storm Herald.
I cast Tidal Wave.
And Storm Herald
Many of
defends itself.
them are being destroyed by the Phoenix. But the Mind Flayer army is also surrounding Storm Herald as well. Briv speaks up.
You know, you don't always win, but you can at least take everyone with you. I'm always going to take all of you with me.
Thanks for being a friend.
Where are we going?
Do we have time to save the people in the city, or is this the last moments for this world?
Do you say this out loud?
Yes, and wonder at the same time.
I can open up we can, how does everyone feel about Wish?
Oh, hell.
So I got this ring of wishing here, and I know that Hobgoblin wished all of the people of Verdaneth to a safe place. But I don't think one wish is going to get everyone off this planet. I've had a good life, but I don't know that I want to go.
Can we not save them? Is there not enough time?
I think if enough people wish for everyone to be safe, they'll be safe. Maybe.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make the journey.
Alyndra, Lorekeeper, can word this most appropriately and most safely. What do you think? We must get as many as we can back out of this place.
I think I should not be the one to make the wish, because I don't know that I could wish for that.
How long will it take me to get to Orkira's body?
You're there.
Is there a body or is it just a husk?
It's just ashes.
I gather all the ashes that I can into a pack and begin to ascend back towards Storm Herald.
Okay. You're flying back to Storm Herald. The Phoenix is burning right through the Mind Flayer army right now, but the Elithid Kraken is starting to strike it with tentacles as well, trying to drag the Phoenix down.
Really? What should we do?
I am prepared to make a wish.
Todd, look at your messages.
I wish that all the innocent people of this world and all the heroes of the Vale are safely transported from here immediately.
You wish that? And you feel at least 1 million souls, 1 million people disappear somewhere else, and you see freely just turn into glowing light and fade, and the ring drops.
Alyndra's gonna run over.
But
Does
he
she
was
still
innocent
sense
too.
magic in it?
There's still magic left in it.
Alyndra takes it, she says. I wish for my dad back.
Okay, that's your wish. Anyone else?
I do what I can to pilot the
There,
ship to safety.
it was noble freely, but he didn't get everybody.
He said the heroes of the Vale, and yet we're still here, so that must mean we're not heroes.
I
No,
believe thine deeds far more than any words of a magic spell, Penelope, and I can assure thee thou art a hero.
I think we might have failed.
Marv picks up the ring.
Well, I guess this is a goodbye then.
Rar.
I wish that as many people on this world as possible are safe.
And he just turns into light and glowing embers, and the ring falls to the ground.
Penelope, you don't need a ring to tell you that you're a hero. The things you've done, the people you've saved, the courage you've shown. You are Penelope the Brave. You will be remembered. I see across time. Penelope, you, us, we will not be forgotten.
What does Penelope wish?
Penelope wishes that the heroes. Penelope wishes that time would go back to when the heroes of the Vale first met. None of this has happened.
Keeping the dungeon master on his toes.
I don't know if there's any magic left. Everyone's disappearing.
You see Penelope disappear. You see Keen disappear. And then you see Briv disappear. And in a
Penelope,
dirty, disgusting, rat-infested cell, somewhere in the Nintervale, you see Penelope Halfpint. A bunch of roughed up, strange people. You see an Eladrin with long hair. You see a half-orc also there, who clearly had just been in some kind of bar brawl. You see a Dragonborn with no wings also in the cell. And you see a skinny man all dressed in black. with a long coat, toying with a coin. So, how did all of you get arrested? You all look very dashing, I have to say. I don't mean to speak out of turn. Everyone looks kind of grumpy. I don't know how everyone got arrested, but you sort of look like heroes to me.
Little one, I have a bad feeling about this one.
He looks friendly. We
It
should.
You
was
say
really
so?
it was really a
see
mistake.
Briv
I
is-
was just
Briv is
trying to help.
carving his initials into the stone.
I'm sorry. Who are all of you?
Oh, my name's Penelope Half-Pint. Except for it's not really Half-Pint. It's just a name that I got this time. I drank some stuff in the meat, and then they call me Half-Pint because I drink the whole half of it.
Talk too
Jeez.
much.
Penelope half pint, but not really half pint.
Yeah,
Just-
You
How
guys all look very nice.
It's
You
lovely
guys
to
all
meet
want to be my
Alyndra.
friend?
You see even just kind of smile. They're definitely... It's going to be a lot more interesting the second time. I think they're
Why is
beyond
he
heroes. And that's the end of the adventure. Thank you, everyone, for watching Heroes of the Vale and the end of our year-long campaign. Thank you so much, Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Half-Pint. Thank you, B. Dave Walters and his White Door. Thank you, TJ
Hey,
Storm, who's
yeah,
been
there
playing
he is.
Keen Deapreth. Jen Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand. Lauren Irvin playing Orkira Eldritch. And Adam Bradford playing Briv Stillmarrow. For those of you who are watching us through D&D channel as well, we're going to keep on talking. If that's okay. So if you would like to return to your regular scheduled programming, we will continue to stream on D&D Beyond. These are some of the most amazing role players I've ever played with.
But we're not stopping. We're not. Why are we?
We're not stopping.
No. How much more are we waiting to talk about this? It's killing
We
me.
are coming back. We are coming back in a new show called Beyond Heroes, but it is still emotional because we have spent so much time together for so very long now. I did not know what was going to happen in this adventure. This is why I love this group of people who are very good at improv. I never thought we were going to get to this point. It is definitely emotional, and I cannot believe Hope LaVelle wished that we went back in time.
And
Sorry.
Oh my
Look,
wife, my
Todd,
wife is crying.
do not
Megan
leave
is
the
crying.
final wish
No.
to me. I was so not prepared.
no,
All I
it-
did
it
was what Penelope would have wanted. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to expect. I knew the show had to end. I was like, what's a good button? And I did it.
listen, it was the perfect bookend. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah. Now I thought okay.
Why
So
did you
what I
put
love
it
about-
on me? That's all I wanted.
No, you said it, and I'm like, okay, so that's how we're starting the show. It's amazing all the plot lines that every one of you has done. Freely has caused so much damage to this party. I never thought anyone would possibly think. First off, I never thought that Briv was going to get separated by the coin that had Saranthus. The fact it was very intelligent to think of, okay, we're shoving Briv into this device that splits souls. It was very smart to take the soul coin out of his pocket because that would probably have meant that Saranthus would leave. But then you gave it to Freely, and then Freely
He was
got
the
to
only-
spend time with
It wasn't
Saranthus.
going into the thing, so
He was
It
the only
No,
one
it's-
outside.
Completely legit. Only one who had already gone through. And what was interesting is that for some reason, Freely, because Hope was so nice, Penelope was so nice to Freely, that they formed this bond, and Freely got a crush on her. in that same adventure. So freely now has this emotional connection. And I didn't realize until later that Saranthus would start using that. And there was no opportunity for that to happen. I wasn't even thinking about that until Penelope pulled the Void card and had her soul sucked out. So then Saranthus offered to freely, like, hey, you want her back? I can make it happen. And this is not even remotely where I thought this campaign was going to end. And I thought I knew where the adventure was going to end, but boy, was I wrong in the last 60 seconds of this episode. I thought either everyone was going to die because Orkira summoned the Phoenix. I thought maybe everyone would disappear to Shadowfell, maybe, or something like that, or go into the bag of holding. I thought that might happen as well. Tiny Hut would have been tragic because Tiny Hut wouldn't have worked because technically the Phoenix is a divine creature and the flames would have burned right through it. But man, that's a bad way to kick. I didn't want that to be the way you go. Like, no, you're wrong. So narratively, it's not a good way to die. I hope everyone had fun.
Oh, but
Sort
why?
of.
Why did you present a wish? Like, why did Rar bring it up? You know.
Because I love watching you guys wish. So did you guys have any favorite moments, or are you all horrified and terrified?
She's.
I mean, trying to pick one is hard, and I'm just yeah.
I mean, for me, the last okay, now I'm not gonna be able to say this. The last moment means a lot to me because I wasn't actually there in the beginning, and so to get to then be there in the beginning with everybody, like, it means so much because I really do. I love you guys so much, and yeah. So that was a gut punch I didn't expect until it landed, and then yeah. So thank you for letting me be part of this.
It's so sad. I didn't even know that would be sad. When you said, I just wish for my dad to be back, I'm like, oh God, no one ever wants, like, that's just the saddest thing to ever hear anyone say, no matter what. Like, whether you're role playing or not, you're just like, no.
I mean, I just think she, having just found out that she hadn't actually had him all along, that was what she instinctually wanted. I think Alyndra always wanted to really find comfort. I think she had to be tougher than she let on a lot of the time. So there were these little things like having the stuffed dragon and things where she would just try and find small ways to find comfort. And family, the homestone, all of that was just trying to find those connections. So that was, yeah. I don't know. I can't words right now.
Oh, anyone else?
How about getting to have B Dave on our show? Like,
Yes!
oh my
B.
God,
Dave, you're
Several
wonderful.
episodes in a row.
Wild card.
Oh, and then he gets to play my love interest.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for almost 30 years, and Freely is the first halfling I've played ever. Ever.
Like for life.
And in case you guys didn't notice, that my build was super weird because I know I kept throwing out all of these abilities. Just for the record, he is a 2 Paladin, 2 Hexblade, 2 Divine Soul Sorcerer, 2 Swords Bard. That's his 8 levels. So that's why because his whole thing is he's just lucky. He's just born special, and he didn't even know why. He just things just happen for him. So he puts no thought into it whatsoever, and he just lives his life freely. Yeah, and it was.
I wondered.
I remember
wondered,
you
like-
sending me it, and I'm like, are you high right now?
Well, it's all charisma. It's single attribute. It works. It works. Yeah.
Why the name Freely?
Literally, that's how he lives his life freely.
That's so cool.
I was waiting for a
I
P
mean,
joke.
that was the only logic. Yeah. I was glad to get to be a part of it. And you know what's funny? I'm glad you did that wish to reset time because I almost wish you all never met Saranthus. And I
That
was
would've
just
been a good
thinking that I
place.
was like, but I didn't want to like twist everything
Mhm.
up that much. So I was like, well, then I'm just going to try and save everybody if I can. So that's well
I
played.
wonder. I don't know what the plans are, but now I feel like this is the Dark Tower, and where it's the end. I'm about to spoil the Dark Tower for people. Just deal with it. I mean, it's been
It's
out
been out
forever,
a while,
but
folks. So
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's the end, and where it's gone back, and he's got to do the entire thing all over again. Except there's the one thing that's different, and so the one thing that's different is we have Alyndra now. So I feel like it all still happens, like everything that just happened in the last 2 chapters happened, except for whatever reason, having Alyndra there from the beginning changes enough that we all survive at that very end. So in my head,
It's
it's Alyndra is the man in black, or Alyndra is the gunslinger, and Averin is the man in black, and
yeah. Wow.
Freely is the horn.
It's been really fun to watch everyone else like evolve. Like Briv has evolved a great deal over time. And that's a hard, thankless job, by the way. Playing a character who is gruff and who is, seemingly single-minded, that's a thankless job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It
amazing.
is funny to see him begrudgingly become a nicer person episode
But
by
it's
episode.
a beautiful transition.
It is a
Yeah.
slow arc.
It's almost
almost a line. But that's been super fun to watch. Orkira, I have put through so much, and I feel some kind of weird residual guilt through. Her gods have died.
I think that was my favorite moment when she met Paylor and she tried to heal him, and it just sucked more energy from him right in front of her eyes. And I just remember
Yeah.
thinking, oh my God, that's so intense.
Yeah, that made sense.
That moment was kind of like there was something that someone I had a friend who had gone through a tragedy, and there's something, they say that your parents are like your gods. So to see a god die who you worship has to be a deeply upsetting thing. And so I very much think that's also how Orkira reacted.
A little,
seeing-
yeah. I mean, it's a little less. With both Paylor and the Phoenix, she is. They're her friends in a
Yeah.
way. They're, that's why she has this weird casual relationship with both of them. That's because she didn't learn about them by studying books or anything. She met them and they were, oh, you kind of align with my interests and you're just way more powerful than me.
Yeah.
But that's, so yeah, she's more affected by the loss of a friend than she is about the loss of a god. Like her mourning after that was, I've lost my best friend, not I've lost my source of power. So, and that's also why she got super pissed whenever they wouldn't tell her things and be really angry at the end and be like, I don't understand. Why'd you just tell me? You're my friend. You're supposed to do, and these are my friends. Why are you hurting my friends? So,
That was some deep cuts, and that's going to have reverberations, what you said, Averin. So that was some real call out shit.
Yeah. Well,
I will never forget Keen. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the last couple of in-game days kind of broke Orkira. She probably never would have said any of that. She never would have been that sarcastic and mean and like smack someone upside the head kind of thing. But she just that was kind of the last straw. So
Keen, I know that TJ is not always here for Heroes of Vale, but I gotta tell you, when Robot Keen, Warforged Keen gave his speech and said, I have no place here in this world any longer. I have served my purpose, and just walked off with no one to witness it. That broke me. I started crying and I had to hide like my face. That I will never forget that moment.
I just go around my house now with my kids and everything else. And if I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, I am in my winter. And, I am now in summer. That's what I do with my kids now, and they know what I mean.
I feel like it's a very polite way to let everyone in the room know how you're doing.
Tell them what season
The
you're in.
emotional color chart that they use when they're trying to teach kids emotional awareness, that's very similar. So I actually like this better. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Teach kids how to be in their season.
Oh man, Penelope tricking all of you. I mean, honestly, Hope playing Saranthus for like what, 2 months?
I was close
Yeah.
to that.
And I know it's real when Adam's like, I'm like mad at her, and I know it's irrational. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
shouldn't
didn't
be
talk
mad
to
at
you
her.
for like at least a few days, Hope, because I was
I could feel the cold shoulder.
yeah, I was really upset.
It wasn't
But
my
that was like
plan.
Oh, it was totally
brilliant.
you.
I also
Yeah.
loved
You're-
Hope when we got to Avernus. Like Hope, Penelope as tour guide, being the bird. It was
Yeah,
so
your
good.
uncle.
She was so fierce.
No
This
one
is-
other than Penelope would go to hell and find an uncle and then make
Yeah.
friends with everybody
Okay,
there.
so when Todd was explaining this character, he's like, "Oh, it's kind of like what did you say? It's like the Uncle
Oh,
Bernie
it's
Mac,
Bernie Mac
from the
It's
transfer.
Bernie Mac from Transformers.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So whoever he is, I claim him as my uncle. And I was like, I didn't think that. Be such a
That
big deal.
is the best part of that entire film is when Bernie Mac shows up for me. Like, because I, in my neighborhood, had people like that who were my friends who had dads like that, who were literally like, you're going to buy a car, your first car, and you came to me? I'm like, yeah, I know this hustle. That practically makes us family. I'm like, oh, I know this character. I know exactly how this plays out. Yeah, that was a fun moment. It was very good. Honestly, I love just the improv that you guys forced me to do because every plan I make is destroyed, which is good.
But you'd never know it. You'd
DMs
never know
should
it.
destroy their plans.
Well, you're just such a great, you roll with it. And that's what's great. You never try to railroad anything. And I think I appreciate that more than anything.
Even if
Yeah.
I try, trust me, it doesn't work. I thought you were all going to burn to ash, and there was going to be like a cutscene where like, Rorv is like,
You think, hey, Boom Boom, do you think that pile of ash looks like an Alyndra or maybe an Orkira? I can tell that pile over there is a Briv for sure.
and I thought it was going to end like something like that. And then you're like, no, I wish for it to all start again. I'm like, okay.
Hindsight, you shouldn't have given me a wish. Don't put that on me.
Oh my god.
No, but I want to second what Hope is saying. It's so difficult sometimes as a DM to just let the plan go and roll with what the players are doing. And
It's
I mean,
an art form, really.
more than I think anybody I've ever played with, Todd, you're like, bring it on, break my game. I want you to do whatever you want to in terms of build, in terms of items. I'm going to throw the deck of many things at you. I'm going to throw all of this, world breaking stuff. I'm going to give you wishes at level 6, and it's
Such a bad idea.
amazing.
Or a great idea.
I was about to say
let me
what
ask you,
D-Dave
Todd.
always say.
What's your favorite moment, Todd?
Yeah.
I have a lot of favorite moments because it's just watching all of them. The keen moment of dropping off is painful for me because it's also a very dark thing, right? But it was my favorite thing because it had nothing to do with me. TJ saw a moment to act and create an amazing scene, and he painted this scene that was more perfect than anything I could ever do. Playing as Avon, I miss so very, very much. And my interactions briefly with Keen were some of the best moments I've ever had with Avon, and defined the character for me, who I've been playing since I was 8. Because the fact that Avon convinced Keen that if he buried his gold, which is a Pinocchio reference for those who read the original Pinocchio. And if you bury your gold, you'll get gold back. And Keen did it, and it broke Avron's heart that he did it with such absolute trust that Avron's like, okay, now I have to put gold in here. I have to make good. It's still a trick, but I can't like cheat. this kind soul out of gold. Just everything that all of you do is magical. Like I remember when I was playing Averyn, I got to make a little fire and made the story of Orkira, and the fact that like Orkira sat there wide-eyed and saw that moment was great. Every time Penelope Half-Pint opens her mouth is basically gold. So it's so adorable. The friendship thing. You've made friends with mind flayers, pit fiends.
Vordred.
Vordred is one of my favorite characters to play.
Sounds made up.
Yes.
Totally made
That
up.
is
might have actually been-
my single favorite tagline.
Okay.
It sounds made up.
Yes. That was my favorite episode, by the way, because I did not think you actually just let the whole thing like, oh, everything has changed because Penelope has made friends with Vordred, and it like completely changed the whole episode.
Oh yeah, that was totally bizarre. And I mean, Jen's been such a great cast member as well, and how she deals with family issues, which we didn't know was going to become so center point. It's an interesting thing to role play.
Todd pinged me pretty early on and said, how much work have you done in terms of backstory on Alyndra's family? And I said, not a ton. Like I've done her recent past, but not a lot of family. He went, how would you feel about having Alyndra be Averyn's daughter? And I was like, oh yeah, let's go with this. And from there, we were messaging back and forth constantly, and I started adding little tiny subtle things, and it was just such a joy to have that to grab onto.
The
It
reveal
made
of
us-
that was just, my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it
I
was
was like,
why that came to mind was I'm like, what's the opposite of Averyn? Well, pretty much Alyndra. Like, if you're like a creature of pure deception and trickery to the point where like you're not necessarily evil, but you just can't stop. That's the kid you have, right? We're losing. Are we losing Adam?
No, sorry. I just
Yeah.
had a visitor in my office.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's the only way that child can rebel. I have a friend of mine who is just super bohemian hippie parent, just yes to everything, discover yourself, blah blah blah. And we were talking, and I'm like, you do know that your little girl's gonna grow up and just become the most conservative, straight-laced human being possible,
Yeah,
because it's the only thing she can do to rebel against you. And when I said it, I just saw like the shock and realization come across her face. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, start forbidding some stuff that you don't actually care about. Tell her never be a salsa dancer. Do something like that.
Yeah, never false an answer.
my favorite thing was at live, Todd and Megan plays Sophia's, who's Averyn's wife, and I took a picture, and Hope was taking the picture, and she goes, "This looks like a family portrait." And the three of us are just like cracking up.
Well, first you said, oh, we need to get a picture of us three. And I was just like, I think someone was here. I was there and some other, and we're like, wait, what is this? What about us? And you're like, no, this, you'll understand later. And I was just like, okay.
I will say one of
It
my
was
favorite moments was between Alyndra and Briv in the first season when you were sitting under the stars talking, because there had been so much antagonism between the two of you, and like that was kind of the first moment you just like sat and enjoyed and talked and appreciated
That was a
together, and that was
Beautiful moment between
was so
Briv
nice.
and Alyndra. Oh, I love that moment.
Yeah, Briv was playing the role of the concerned guy, for just a little while.
That was a really great moment, and it was a moment to
It was-
breathe.
yeah. So,
I mean,
such
that's
an
what
innocent moment.
you do
Yeah.
really well is you set up these moments of like calm before the storm, and the question of what would you do before the apocalypse. Like you have this finite amount of time, and you manage to set that up over and over and over, and every time it was a different experience, which was really just astonishing.
Yeah, I like Orkira's reaction to everything is amazing. Averyn trying to get and man, that changed the plot. Yeah, I totally thought I was going to get some of Orkira's blood. When Averyn tried to get her blood, he was going to make clones of all of you, and Orkira made such a stink about it that I knew no one else was going to let Averyn take blood. And I'm like, well, I guess there's no Heroes of the Vale clone army coming up later because somebody's
Thank you,
super
Alyndra.
sensitive about it. Like,
Thank
I'm
you,
just gonna
Alyndra.
throw that plot line right out the window.
And you know what? It's all his fault because eventually Orkira probably would have said yes because she was just freaked out in that moment. It wasn't that she was saying no. She just had no idea what was going on. She was afraid of what she was going to
Yeah.
find out. And so when Averin was like, oh, go get Alyndra and she'll reassure you. And then Alyndra said no. Yeah. So that was Alyndra. She saved all of us from clones of ourselves.
And
It was
the interesting
to
thing is,
play-
if it had been like a month later, she wouldn't have
Right.
stopped him.
She changed that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
the
weird to
Sarrbarand
play
thing-
Averin for these scenes because
Not-
he's a clone. He doesn't have all of his memories actually, and they're all warped. And like he doesn't know what's real and what's not because he also has the combined memories of all these other mind flayers. So the stories that he told or that you saw of his past, not totally accurate. Like super just messed up. And kind of the theme of that season was dementia. When it came to like the Kraken and Averin, a clone trying what he thought was the right thing to do, to be a good Averin, to be a good father, to be a hero. But this is somebody who isn't really who they are. And so he has like this crazy cave full of just meandering messages about like how to manipulate the heroes in the Vale into being heroes because he thought he knew better. Just like an old man, like someone who's very much suffering from Alzheimer's. Was kind of like the theme I was trying to put together for that character. I guess I'll see y'all later. It was man, it's been a year. I never
Can we
thought I was
talk
going to Dungeon
about-
Master a show.
Can we
what
talk about
happens
what
next?
is next, though, Todd? Like for the next
Yeah,
couple of
we
weeks,
can talk-
maybe, or
Well, I'm definitely going to have to re-piece together the start of the show. I'm going to tell you that. Thanks, Penelope. Thanks, Hope.
Your fault.
well, I guess what
Yeah.
I'm saying is from a schedule point of view. Let's not
From a
maybe
schedule
spoil
point of
anything,
view,
but yeah.
starting November 6th, a new show is starting up with a very new plot line called Beyond Heroes. And Beyond Heroes is going to be with the same characters that you know and love, with clearly some very big timey-wimey changes, which this time is not my fault. And
I'm telling you, we gunslinger this thing and it's 100% exactly the same. Alyndra's just there. And then we survive. That's all we have to do.
and so
Oh, is that all?
But Beyond
That's
Hero
all?
is going to be very much structured. I like old pop serials. I like kind of like how TV is set, television is set up where, like, if you're watching a show like Supernatural or X-Files or The Expanse, you have
Person of
these
interest.
one-offs. Huh? Person of interest.
Person of interest is a great example too.
You have kind of like this not really monster of the week or item of the week, but there's a scenario of the week. Like you have the adventure, and in 2 hours, that adventure either succeeds or fails. And that is all on all of you. You have 2 hours to complete a mission, an adventure, to save someone, to save yourselves, but you only have 2 hours to do it in role play. So it is very improv based. We all are collaborative storytellers. But once it hits 4 o'clock, that's it. And on occasion, if it warrants it, we'll have a 2-parter. But the whole point is that so people who are watching and don't have time to necessarily keep up with every single episode of a show can watch any episode and get something out of it. So you will have in some cases, a little bit of a mission briefing about where the story starts. These stories aren't going to start from like you find your quest giver. These stories are going to start in the middle of the movie when things start happening, like right in the middle of the action. So like we're not going to see how, say, if you want to look at the Guardians of the Galaxy, you're not going to see how Peter Quill found out where this Infinity Stone was. You're just going to jump in to him stealing it, and things are going to move on from there. And so every adventure is going to be this way. And it's going to be a big challenge for myself. It's going to be a big challenge for all of you. And we're also going to have giveaways. We are going to be giving away digital D&D books on D&D Beyond every time we roll a natural 20 on the show. Those
That's
at home
crazy.
will get a chance to win some digital books. I'm not going to give away everything, and some other rewards as well, hopefully from some other partners of ours on the show. So definitely watch out for those natural 20s. I need
That's
everyone
awesome.
needs to be good. Everyone needs to tell the truth about their natural 20s.
Oh, every roll's a natural 20. Imagine that.
You
Whoa.
dice.
It's
Oh,
not
I'll keep
impossible.
an eye
It's
on
just
that.
improbable.
That's
Exactly.
true.
And the people who are watching at home are going to be able to vote on, say, the next episode. They're going to be able to vote on perhaps things like giving people advantage or disadvantage, or whether certain magical items come into play. So people at home are going to become producers of the show in that extent. You will have like a series of titles for the next adventures that you can choose from. Everyone on Twitch, YouTube, maybe possibly even on Twitter can vote on, what do I want to see these heroes try to do next? Like a train heist. Like, what happens when we do a train heist
Oh my
episode?
gosh.
You know,
What's a train?
what happens when we do a vacation episode in Hawaii? No, like it's just like right.
What's
like,
a vacation?
But
It's things they have in Eberron. Both of those are things they have in Eberron.
Okay.
Lightning
What's an
rain.
Eberron?
What happens when they find a deadly artifact and everyone's coming after them? Like, there's so many great themes from all these shows. Like, I just want to encapsulate those stories and see that time limit. And it's ever since Roleplay Roulette with Kate Welch was playing it, I saw how frenetic and insane those adventures were, because we all knew we had 1 hour. This is it. This is our shot. And so amazing stories come out of that. You add pressure to actors and to role players, and crazy stuff happens. And I hope that's gonna work. And if it doesn't work, well, I'm the one who ruined the show. So, but yeah,
It'll be
we'll have
entertaining no matter what happens.
We'll have wonderful giveaways. You, the audience, everyone on Twitch will have agency in where the show goes from there. There will be an overarching plot line, so don't worry if you're a fan of like something like X-Files or Supernatural. There will be some kind of yellow-eyed demon or a smoking man or whatever, or B. Arthur from Golden Girls. You will have some kind of antagonist.
Part of the original D&D party, so
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
But you can absolutely just walk into the show at any moment and enjoy yourself for 2 hours. That's the plan. So, any other questions? I believe
can we
I
talk
am
about
wearing my
the
producer thin.
I'm going to say one other thing, dev update in the morning special Halloween episode. We are going to paint some happy little eye stalks, probably. So we'll see how Halloween goes tomorrow. So join us for that at 9 a.m. Pacific.
You want to say hi?
Can we talk about the con?
it's my mama.
Oh,
Thank you for
Hey,
killing our gift.
can I say something really quick?
Yes.
Can I say, just wanted to say thank you for the people watching us and supporting us. You guys are amazing. You have shown up every week, and you guys are giving us great shout outs and great comments, and you're our family. Thank you for being part of the Heroes of the Vale as well. And thank you for showing up and watching this amazing team that I get to work with and play with. And Todd, who's a freaking awesome DM. Thank you guys. You guys are inspiring us to have a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're there having fun with us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really and I can't handle nice things being said about me, but thank you for that. But yeah, the audience, you all have been absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to give you even more power over the storylines. So, all right. Well, I love you all. You're all wonderful people. You're great role players, and everyone have a good day. You're the best. Bye.
See you